So for those of you guys that are just joining us, good morning. We are live from Bright Angel Trailhead right now. So I'm going to wait for some more people to tune in and keep you guys looking at the canyon for a second. It is super windy today. So if you have any problems hearing us, just let me know and I'll try and rearrange our mics. Good morning, Trish. Thanks for joining us today. So as you guys tune in, if you want to comment with your hometown on where you're watching from, that is always my favorite part. So right now, it is about 5 after 10 a.m. at Bright Angel Trailhead, and we are kicking off our National Park Week and Trailblazer event. So, good morning, Chad Moriarty. It's good to hear from you. So my name is Alyssa Ojeda, and I'm the Marketing and Public Relations Manager for Grand Canyon Conservancy. And we are over here at the Trailhead. It's been busy, so we are going to be masked this morning since this area is our mask zone, just because you can't maintain social distancing. So after we do the interview with Anne, who you can see over my right shoulder, I'm going to go walk up the trail a little bit so that way you guys can get another view of the canyon as well. So let me show the canyon to you. And so I actually want to open today with a little bit different intro, just because of National Park Week. We do want to make sure that we do a land acknowledgement. So for GCC, we are an organization whose mission is to inspire generations of park champions and to cherish and support the natural and cultural wonder of Grand Canyon. So Grand Canyon Conservancy acknowledges that Grand Canyon National Park exists on a land indigenous people have inhabited since time immemorial, and whose histories and cultures are undeniably tied to locations that are now located within national park boundaries. GCC accepts the responsibility of stewarding these places and pledges to honor and respect these lands and their cultural history and the 11 tribes who are still here, which are the Havasupai tribe, the Hopi tribe, the Hualapai tribe, the Kaibab Band of Paiute Indians, the Las Vegas Band of Paiute Indians, the Moapa Band of Paiute Indians, the Navajo Nation, the Paiute Indian Tribe of Utah, the Pueblo of Zuni, the San Juan Southern Paiute Tribe, and the Yavapai Apache Nation. So, with that, I am so excited to welcome. So our first interview today is with lovely Anne, and so I'm going to get her mic'd up. We'll keep you looking at the canyon here for a second. You want to plug into there? Thank you. Sorry, I'm gonna have to. Okay. Whoops, I'm so sorry, guys. I knocked my phone right off there. So sorry if I just took you for a little spin. Wonderful. So Anne, if you want to come over here, and if you don't mind just saying a few things, if those of you that are watching can give us a thumbs up that you can hear us okay.
Hi, my name is Ann Scott, and I'm a Psar volunteer here at Grand Canyon.
Great. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. My stabilizer is trying to... I have extra cables tied in today, so it keeps trying to reset based off of that. So, Anne, do you mind sharing what is Psar and what does the acronym stand for?
Psar is Preventive Search and Rescue. It's a volunteer organization staffed by approximately 80 volunteers, and there are 10 regular staff rangers, 1 supervisor, and the others are seasonal rangers who are basically here from March through October. We patrol the trails, the upper parts, early in the day, trying to educate people so that they will have a good, safe hike and not have to be rescued. So the most important letter in that is the P for prevention.
Wonderful. And how long have you been involved with Psar?
This will be my 6th season with Psar.
And what was the process for you to become a volunteer?
I actually was able to volunteer through the Conservancy. It started, I think it was 2015, there was a special project that the Conservancy was helping sponsor to do some research on rim-to-rim hikers. And I had seen that on the website and volunteered for that, and as part of that, one of the people in charge of that program was a Psar ranger. So she thought I would be a good fit for it and made the connection for me to get involved. Currently, it's a slightly different process. You would request an application in August. Those would be processed and reviewed during September, and then decisions made in October to fill any vacant spots. We are limited to 80 people. Right now, I think there may be 10 spots that are open. With COVID, I'm not sure if they're going to be hiring any new ones for next season, but the best thing to do is to check in August. And to do that, you would email grca_PSAR@nps.gov and request an application.
Great. All right, guys, I'm going to jerk you around for 1 second here just so I can reset the stabilizer. So I apologize. Come on, little guy. Okay. Sorry about that. Ian?
Yes.
So do you mind sharing what is the main work of, education kind of being one of the leading core values of Psar? What are you educating hikers about, and what do those conversations look like?
A normal conversation would be, I'm hiking down the trail and I see someone I'm overtaking who does not appear to have a backpack. I can't see any visible water or snacks. So I would stop and start a conversation, asking them what their plans were for the day. Did they have food and water? Things like that. And if they say they really don't know, they've never been on the trail and don't know where it's going, and they don't have any food and water, then I will give them some information. Let's say we're near the top of the trail. I can point out a section to say, please don't go any further than cinch up, because I know you can get yourself safely back out if you're only down the trail a couple of tenths of a mile. And really caution them about going much further, because that's when people get into trouble, is when they go beyond their ability and beyond their preparedness.
Great. So for individuals that were maybe interested in summer hiking or coming out to the canyon, what tips would you give them beforehand, or some essentials that they should bring with them?
The first thing that you should do is do your research. Know what trails are, what to expect on the trail. We do have plenty of information available on our website. That would be nps.gov/GRCA. And you would look down for the little caption that says plan your visit. Drill down those menus and you will find one that says things to do. Under things to do, you would look for backcountry hiking. And there you will find other links for trail information, for maps, for suggestions and tips, and for trail closures and alerts. We do sometimes have problems on the trail. Normally there is water during the summer available at 1.5 mile and 3 mile rest. If the pipeline has broken for some reason, that water may turn off. So it's important to know that before you go down the trail. So once you've done your research and you know where you plan to go, in the summer you particularly want to make sure you have a hat, sunscreen, water, some electrolyte powder or tablets, something that you can use to replenish all of those body nutrients that you will lose when you perspire, and some salty snacks. Again, that salt is very important to replenish. Just drinking water is not enough. You need to balance your blood. Have a good time. Make sure that you do all those things ahead of time. You should have a good, safe hike.
Those are such great tips, and I think it is a matter of just that preparedness and coming out and making sure you know before you go. And
Right.
I'm so glad you hit on a lot of those essentials too. So when you're going in and helping out with a assist or with a hiker, a lot of times do you hike in or out with them, or what does a day look like when you're on the trails?
A normal day, let's see if I can recount my last day on the trail. I started about 7:30 in the morning hiking down. My shift is usually to 1.5 miles. And I will be down there having talked to people along the way, and usually first thing, you're not going to find a lot of problems unless you happen to encounter someone who's coming from further down the trail and they're starting to get tired. And I had just such a situation on Thursday. A woman had been on a multi-day hike. She was with her husband and daughter, had a fairly heavy pack, and she was struggling. She was having a hard time getting up. So I just sort of kept my eye on her as I came up the trail later in the morning. Sure enough, near the top, I found her sitting on the side of the trail. Fortunately, she was in the shade, and her pack was off, and her husband and her daughter weren't with her. I pretty easily figured out he was going further up the trail to drop his pack to come back and get her. She was just having a difficult time. And that is indeed what happened. But I stayed with her until he returned. He took her pack and we went up a little further, and she really still was not feeling that well. So I was able to convince her to take some electrolyte powder to add to her water, rest in the shade, and get herself out. And sure enough, I have found that electrolyte mix is like the magic elixir. It's got just enough to give you that boost to get you up the trail and out. Found them at the top of the trail, resting, and very happy that they'd been able to get themselves out without having to call on a major rescue.
Good. I'm glad that had a happy ending. And it's good to show, though, that, again, it goes back to that salt and just replenishing those electrolytes and how much that really impacts your body. So any other tips that you would like to share today about the Psar program, or with our followers that maybe have questions about hiking?
One other thing I haven't mentioned yet is the emergency caches that we keep in the canyon. We do have, on the Bright Angel Trail, there's one at 1.5 Mile Rest House and one at 3 Mile Rest House, where we keep extra sleeping bags, pads, some extra clothing in the winter time, and some crampons because the trails do get very icy, and food and water. If somebody is, let's say it's 9 o'clock at night, they're at the end of their hike, they've made it to 1.5 miles and they're just exhausted, don't think they can get out. We do have an emergency phone there, so they will call up and say, I need help, I can't make it. If the person on the rim has determined that they're not really in a serious medical emergency, they can give them the combination to the lock and direct them to access that cache and get the supplies that they need. And it may just be that they need to spend the night down there and replenish their reserves so that they can hike out the next day. And I've already encountered people this spring who have been in that situation, and they were able to use those supplies and get themselves out. So we will have to then restock those after people have used them. So that is another one of our duties in the canyon.
Thank you for sharing that. And so I do have a question from Trish, and she is curious, is the Psar program across the National Park Service, or is this specific to Grand Canyon?
It's not everywhere, but it is growing. One of our Psar rangers from last year was hired to be in charge of Psar at Joshua Tree this year. You tend to find it more in areas where we have heat as an issue, where that education component early in a hike is very important. So it is expanding, but it is not in every park.
Great. Well, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'm going to ask Anne. For right now, I'm going to unhook her, and we're going to walk around so that way I can show you guys a little bit different view, and also the Bright Angel Plaza. So what I'm going to do too is try to get our good old stabilizer to reset. So you guys are going to go one way and then another. I'm actually going to give you just that, if you don't mind just holding on to that for me, Anne. And you are free to roam around for a second. So, okay, so for those of you guys that are asking, we are just up here by Bright Angel Trailhead. So let's try and get this. Oh, good, we're working now. So we have the shade structures and the plaza, and we are actually up here on site today. So if you're within the park, we have our tent where we're doing Trailblazer signups on site. And so then we were just standing right over here with the canyon in the background. So how many tourists do you have? 2018. compared to 2020? So Bogdan, that is a really good question. So I'm going to kind of walk and talk to you guys for a little bit while I can. So 2019, we had about 6.25 million visitors here at Grand Canyon National Park. In 2020, we dipped down quite a bit, I think. I'm going to have to go back and just fact check this, but it ended up being a little over 2 million. So with the park being closed, it definitely hindered our admission there. Sorry about that. So yeah, we did. We took a big dip below during COVID, but we are slowly starting to see those increases again and come back up. So, and it is, yeah, Trish, it's pretty chilly today. This breeze is really quite cold. There's a little view of the canyon over there. So we're gonna go walk up to where Adam Gibson and I did an interview yesterday over by Trailview Overlook. So yeah, it says it's 50 degrees right now. My hands are pretty numb. They probably would tell you that it's colder than that. But and so for those of you guys who are not familiar with what National Park Week is, it is just a way for everyone across the country to celebrate all of our beautiful and sacred spaces. And so every day there's a different themed event. Let's get you guys over there. And I can share with you a little bit more about that. But it's a busy day today. So shuttle buses are running. You do have to wear a mask on the shuttle bus. I'm just going to pause up here and let this group of people pass me. Okay. Sorry guys, it's super busy. So yeah, we were just over by Bright Angel Trailhead, so we're gonna actually just walk up and go up to Trailview Overlook where it's just a little bit less busy. Sorry guys. So we are walking on the Rim Trail, so tomorrow we are going to be doing some live interviews walking the full length of the Rim Trail. We'll be starting over at South Kaibab Trailhead at probably about 7 a.m. and we're going to walk west 13 miles to get to Hermit Trail. So I'll be doing this stretch again tomorrow. A lot of the times you guys will see me in the same spots. It's because of where I can get service and connection. So as much as here, look at all those clouds building up on the North Rim. The North Rim is absolutely stunning. I just don't get service over there. So unfortunately, I'm not able to do a live interview there to take you guys with me. So to circle back, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to put them in the comments and I will make sure I answer them. But National Park Week is a presidentially proclaimed week to celebrate beautiful and sacred parks across the country. So today is Park RX Day and the kickoff of our Trailblazer event. And let's see, I'll run through all the themes with you guys really fast, as long as my notes don't blow away. Sunday is Volunteer Day. Monday is Military Monday. And Wednesday is Way Back Wednesday. Thursday, my favorite day, is Earth Day. So if you guys can get outside on Thursday and go for a walk, pick up some trash maybe in your neighborhood, anything to do to appreciate Earth Day. And Friday is Friendship Friday. And Saturday is National Junior Ranger Day. And Sunday is Bark Ranger Day for all the dogs. Hi. So Monica just said, I've been in the North Rim twice and we'll be there again in October. Good for you. I'm so jealous. It is. North Rim is probably one of my most favorite spots. Bark Ranger is my pup coming out for it. So my dog, I have like a Border Collie Lab mix. She is not a bark ranger. She doesn't have the best, probably, park behavior skills right now. She's old and stubborn. But someday we'll get her there. But if you guys have a dog, you can get them to be a bark ranger, which is just so sweet. Dennis, do I plan to walk to Phantom Ranch? You know, I thought about doing actually an inner canyon hike again with you guys. The trails have just been so busy that I just didn't think I'd be able to film very well. So today we're just going to do a little rim walk stroll. Look at that view. So yeah, if any of you guys are headed to a national park today, it is a fee-free day. So that means that admission is waived. So Mike Quinn asked, look at those clouds, is there a chance of rain? Since I did not bring my rain jacket, I'm betting it probably will sprinkle. And you know, we need the moisture, so we can never be mad about that at all. Yeah, this little cold front kind of moved in. On Monday, it jumps back up to 65. And of course, all weekend, we're in the 50s, so. So if you guys look back, I'm hoping the quality is good enough. But you should be able to start to see some of the switchback, a little bit of the trail, just that one. And then Kolb Studio is like, I don't know if I can point very well, just right over there on the rim. All right, we're gonna keep going uphill, so you guys are gonna have to hear me huff and puff while I talk. And so I did want to just hit back because I know there was a lot of comment about masks. So Grand Canyon, since it's federal, we do follow a mask mandate. And really what that means is you do need to wear your mask in certain areas where you can't maintain social distancing. Bright Angel is definitely one of them. So there is a mask zone between Vert Camps and Bright Angel Trailhead, which is the village. And that's just to help keep everyone safe. So that's why I like to walk over west a little bit more. I can remove my mask if it's safe. But we, again, really encourage people to wear them when you can't do social distancing. So I'm going to show you guys this big hill. I'm going to charge up really fast. So I probably won't talk to you while I walk up it. Whoa. Ta-da! Some climbers down there. Okay, so let me just go back and make sure I didn't miss anything. So Terry said, went there in 1959 with my parents. It rained a lot, and our tent was near a small creek that turned a reddish color. yeah, with the a lot of times you can tell with the Colorado River on the type of rainy season we have with how dark and muddy it is, because all of that sediment runs off. And it shows a good sign of moisture. So Susan said when I was there, there were no trees. 1964. We have some good vegetation over here at the South Rim right now. We're getting those hints of spring, and it's just beautiful. But with spring comes wind. So it looks like the North Rim is getting some rain. I'm not sure if you guys can see a little bit of that off to the left. And Jaquetta, if I pronounce your name wrong, I apologize in advance. But thank you for joining us from New York. I'm glad you're spending your Saturday morning with us. Good, I'm glad the quality is still doing okay. Janice would like to know, have I ever posted a live Facebook tour like this one at the Grand Canyon? It's been 40 years since I visited. I'd love to see it again. Yeah, I will definitely try to keep doing more live videos. A while back I had gotten some feedback online about some tours that you guys would like to see, and I know someone requested one of our office. We had the Mule Barn tour, and we're going to check in with some mules actually tomorrow morning, hopefully. And a lot of these, if I can't do it live, I'll have to record it and then send it back. So then that way you guys can still see it if I don't have service. A lot of people are watching these climbers, so we have a little bit of a bottleneck. So Bogdan would like to know, what is my personal favorite trail in Viewpoint at Grand Canyon National Park? Ooh, that is a very, very good question. My favorite trail would have to be, I really love the North Kaibab Trail. Pardon me, guys. Squeeze behind you. The North Kaibab Trail, I just think it's so stunning and beautiful. And when you get up to the rim, it's just a totally different feel. And you have these huge, tall pines and aspens, and it's just gorgeous. On the South Rim, my favorite viewpoint, a lot of times you guys will find me out by Powell. I love off of Hermit Road. A lot of times I like to come run this path, and I always seem to go west, as I'm sure a lot of you guys that have followed before. I have a tendency to always come west, so I think it's where I'm always drawn to, but watching the sunset over from like Hopi Point is probably one of my favorites. So good question, thank you. Come on, little guy. It's one of those nice, cold, windy days when your nose runs. So I'm sorry if you guys have to hear the sniffles. So Ashley said she stayed in El Tovar President's Suite in 2019 and had the most spectacular views. Thank you for sharing that, Ashley. I'm glad you had such a nice visit. Here's a little look back at our rim trail that we've been walking. Okay. And I'm going to keep going a little bit further because I know I do get service for a little bit. So Karen, when does the live trail hike start tomorrow? So yep, we're going to try and start it at 7 a.m. I don't think I'm going to get service that early out at South Kaibab Trailhead. So most likely, probably about 8:30 a.m. is when I'll be in the village and close enough to get that connection. So I'll try and start it as soon as I can, and then I'll run it live as long as I can keep everything charged. And then if it drops off, I'll just try to tune back in more when we get service again. So I just want to pause over here And I'm hoping that you guys can see the trail. And there's quite a few hikers on it going down right now, but it just kind of cuts right in there. Gosh, and my stabilizer is being so stubborn today. So Nelson shared, Roaring Springs is one of my most memorable experiences when I did my rim trim in 1977. Wow, thank you for sharing. Roaring Springs is really, really beautiful. So Ron, does sitting in a recliner watching this beautiful hike count as exercise? Of course it does. I am burning calories for you right now. That's what we call community hike. So Karen said she was here in 1973, 7 days at the canyon. Wow. I'm so glad you were able to have that time. And so Dennis was curious, what's the temp at the bottom right now? So if it's about 50 degrees up here, definitely gets warmer as you go down. I'm probably thinking it's in the 70s at the bottom. I'll have to definitely go back and check that. If someone watching, maybe Mike Quinn, might be able to help fact check that for us. Okay. Glad you guys are enjoying this. So Bogdan said his was sunrise from Bright Angel Point on in the North Rim and sunset from the watchtower at Desert View. Also two very, very good ones. Sunrise from watchtower is also just beautiful. So now you can see a little bit more of the trail. So again, that's Bright Angel Trail down there, just cutting across. Hello, Miss Erin. It's so great to see your name come up. Thank you for watching. So Carla shared that she brought their exchange student from Spain to the canyon during the holidays of 2011, excuse me. What a great experience. Thank you guys for sharing all. I love hearing everyone's own connections to the canyon. So for some that maybe had just joined in, I am walking the Rim Trail right now. So I'm just west of Bright Angel Trailhead, and I'll pan back because right now you get this beautiful view of where Bright Angel Trail starts, and you can see it just drop down. Oh, come on, stabilizer. So Karen, yes, 7:30 Arizona time. I will be here as much as I can. So Sonia, I'm glad you're enjoying this. I will post this to our page so you can come back and watch this as well as tomorrow as well. I'll try to make sure that they all post. So if you can't catch us live, you can always go back and catch a recording. Mary, would love to see your doggie. Oh, she is my fur child. I would love to share you with her. I don't have her at the canyon with me this weekend. But I will find a time when I bring her up and her and I walk the Rim Trail together. Grand Canyon is great. You can have your dogs up here on the rim. You just can't take them below the rim on the trails. One, paths are really narrow. Two, we don't want them to spook the mules, and just with other animal waste and things. So bring your pets, but keep them up on the trail. I'm loving all of your guys' comments. Thank you so much. And I don't know what it is. My stabilizer, I try to get it to go right, and it just keeps going left. So we're gonna fight it out tonight so that it does not do this tomorrow. Stop it. Reset. So Jaketta said, reminds me of Red Rock Canyon. Did you just mention Turtlehead Rock? I did not. I am very bad about all the different individual points. Oh, come on. if we can go back around and maybe you guys can see the battleship. You guys are gonna go vertical for a second. Okay. We're just gonna hold it now. Come on, little guy. I'm so sorry, guys. You're doing good with it. Now it keeps wanting to take you vertical. So, Bogdan, can you remind us the 100th anniversary of establishing Grand Canyon National Park? Yes, so Grand Canyon National Park was established in 1919. So in 2019, we celebrated the centennial of Grand Canyon. So actually, I'm gonna walk down here. And it was here pretty much all year long. We did, I think, about 36 events throughout the course of the year. It was such a busy year. So it was great, just incredible milestone. And one of my favorite parts about the centennial and what happened in 2019 is Grand Canyon became certified as an international dark sky park. So what that means is we are very dark skies. They're just majestic. It's one of the few places really where you can experience and still see the Milky Way. And so by being certified, that means that our fixtures are dark sky friendly, so they're shielded to face down, and we are doing educational programming around Grand Canyon's dark skies. So Nelson shared, dark sky is how all national parks should be. I agree. I always love it when the slogan is half the park is after dark, and I completely agree with it. Oh, thank you, Joe. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this. Finicky stabilizer and all. So Nelson asked, what times are the programs later this week? So I will probably, tomorrow we're starting at South Kaibab Trailhead. Probably about 7:30 in the morning. I'll try and go live. For sure, 8:30, 9 a.m. I think is what I scheduled our live for on Facebook. I'll be in the village by then, so I'll have it live then. And then on Wednesday, let me step aside so people can pass me. Okay, and then on Wednesday, let me pull my mask down. Okay, then on Wednesday we're going to be doing an interview with Serena Rana, and she actually has hiked and mapped the full length of the Arizona Trail. So we're going to be learning all about what it is to hike the Arizona Trail, because the Grand Canyon, the South and North Kaibab Trails are part of it. So we're going to interview her. And then on Friday, I am so excited for this one too. I am still working through some logistics, but we are going to try and do the Trail of Time with an amazing gal who is really the one that mapped it and planned it all out. So we're going to try, for me to walk through, she's going to narrate it, and we'll try and do that live. And that will be Friday at noon, and then Wednesday will also be at noon. And then on Friday, I'll probably try and do another rim walk just to help close out our Trailblazer week, so that way you guys can see, of course, the views of the canyon. And by then, I think our weather should still hopefully be holding up okay. So scroll back and make sure I didn't miss anything. And if you had a question that maybe I might have skipped, feel free to put it in the comments again. Sometimes they scroll really fast, so I'm not able to always go back and see them all. So we still have some rain over there. Right down there, if you can see that little hut, is mile and a half rest house. Yeah, I started to second guess myself and think that it was the 3 mile. Oh, Julie, I'm so glad I could bring the park to you from home. Sabine said, I loved hearing about the trail time at GeoFest. It is fascinating, and again, it's along the rim trail, and it is just a really good way to show the history of Green Canyon and the geology. So I think it'll be really, really fascinating. And if I have a chance to get in the canyon, I will try. My schedule is just a little crazy this week. So, okay, I'm gonna try and turn our stabilizer on again. I think we're charged. Come on, reset. Go. Yay! Okay, our stabilizer's back on, so let's keep walking. So J. Patrick wants to know, how far is it from where I am to the North Rim? So as a crow flies, the North Rim is just about a mile away. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to get there. If you hike it, you do have to go down and back up. And one of my favorite slogans is, down is optional, up is mandatory. So depending on which way you walk into the canyon and which path you take, it's about 22 miles to hike. To drive it, I recommend to go up around through Page if you're going from Flagstaff, and it's about a 5-hour drive. So Bogdan wanted to know, do I recommend a mule ride down the canyon, and how long does it take? You know, I'll have to double check, Bogdan. Let me get back to you on that for how long it takes to take the mules into the canyon. They are way more sure-footed and swifter than I would probably ever be able to dream to hike it. So I will find out and respond back in the comments for you. Karen, will you walk South Kaibab to Hermit Trail distance? That will be about 13 miles. So I'm going to lose service pretty quickly after Powell Point. So you guys may not be able to see the exact finisher over at Hermit Trailhead. I'll make sure I do I'll take a cheesy selfie picture for you guys when we're done and post that. And then we'll try to go live at 1 o'clock back over by Bright Angel Trailhead to share our hike with you guys, and if you had any questions about it. So Nelson said, if you drive, stop to see the dinosaur tracks near Tuba City. Great recommendation, Nelson. Ashley would like to know, how long does it take to get to Phantom? It depends on which trail you're hiking in. So it depends on your speed, your ability, and your own hiker agility, I guess. So if you go down Bright Angel, that one is a little over 9 miles and it could take you anywhere probably between 6 to 8 hours if you're taking stops and rests along the way. South Kaibab Trailhead is a little bit shorter, a little bit steeper, and you'll get there a little bit quicker. So right now they are doing construction on the Silver Bridge. So if you are planning to go down, you do need to make sure that you cross the Black Bridge. So if you go down Bright Angel Trail, you will have to walk a little bit further along. It adds about an extra mile on, and it's, that little extra mile does add up. So, and then regarding taking him on the mules, I'm gonna have to just fact check that for you guys because I don't remember off the top of my head how long that takes. Oh my goodness, you guys, sorry. My stable. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for these folks to pass, but you guys can look at the canyon while they do. We're gonna keep going now. So right now I am walking west, so we'll be doing the same route tomorrow morning again. And the whole reason we're doing this is because this is our second annual Trailblazer event. And what the Trailblazer event is a chance for us to raise money for Grand Canyon National Park. So it's a fundraiser. If you guys want to get involved, you can do a walk, jog, hike, bike ride, whatever you choose. You could even run, do a marathon movie watching on the couch. You can register online at protect.grandcanyon.org/trailblazer. And I'll go back and link this in the comments when I get back to the office. And you can either just donate to an existing page, or if you register, you can get a Trailblazer t-shirt. And here, I'll show you guys what the Trailblazer shirt looks like. I don't know what I look like right now, but ta-da! You can have a super cool Trailblazer t-shirt for your trailblazing, and you can match us virtually and be a part of our trailblazing team wherever you're watching from us, or wherever watching with us from. So we're just going to kind of get over to that next point over there, and then I'll probably wrap up for today, since you'll be seeing a lot of us tomorrow. So again, for some of the new viewers also, it is National Park Week, so today kicks it off. And if you are traveling to a national park today, it is a fee-free day, so you can get into any national park for free today. And this is just a great way for anyone to be able to experience a lot of these natural wonders that we have. Trish, thank you for your comment. Yes, so I felt like I always have to promote everyone equitably, but you're welcome to sponsor my hike, our rim walk tomorrow. You can donate. I have a team called the Rim Walkers. You can join my team virtually, or you're welcome to just donate to anyone on there. It all goes to a good cause. I'll say this too, if you guys donate, whoever donates for some reason, if I win, I will just randomly pick one of the donors or the highest level donor to give the prizes to. And Brian, that's at protect.grandcanyon.org/trailblazer. So TRAILBLAZER. It's like that was like a Sesame Street spelling bee right there. So this is great practice. I don't really have my hiking shoes on today, but it feels good to get out and walk. Thank you, Brian, for asking. Okay, so here's a look back at the village. So we started just over there, just slightly west of Kolb Studio. So that little kind of zigzag you see going down, that is Bright Angel Trail, and that is one of the historic corridor trails here at Grand Canyon National Park. Oh, Brenda, thank you. I'm glad I can make it feel like I am bringing you on this little rim walk with me. Please post the links that you're talking about later when you're able to. I definitely will, Nelson. As soon as I come off the live, I will put it in the comments for you. So it's sorry, it just got really windy. Okay, sorry, I was trying to see if I could add it in here, but it's going to make me pause the live. So let me see if I can come up here on this bench and do it. So Samantha said, always love a hike through Grand Canyon. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us from Minnesota today. So again, that URL, it's protect.grandcanyon.org/trailblazer. Trailblazer. And look at that view. So I'm going to pan down. So earlier I was able to show you guys, actually we might be able to get them both in the same frame. So up on the right, you might see where the trail kind of juts over and there's that structure. So that is your, let's see if I can do this. There's your 1.5-mile rest house. And then right down over here, sorry guys, it's so windy, is your 3-mile rest house. Ta-da! 3.5 mile. And don't worry, I'm behind the railing, so I'm not as close as what it might seem to the edge. And so Debbie, is it always about 20 degrees warmer at the bottom of the canyon? It is. So it is probably a little bit less windy than what it is up here. Right now it says it's just about 52 degrees up here on the rim. So it is probably in the 70s. I'm bedding down below. So Brian said he's going to be in Grand Canyon in June and Yellowstone. Wow, two great parks that you picked. I'm really excited for your trip. You have to take some pictures and share them with us of your time. So Karen would like to know Indian Garden. So let me go back over. Oh, you stabilizer, work with me. So it actually bogged in here. I'll go back and show you the Bright Angel Trail here too. Okay, so the Bright Angel Trail is one of the more culturally historic trails. And so it was used, gosh, way back in 1904, 1905, the Cole brothers used it, but way long before that, the Havasupai used it to get in and out of the canyon. And they actually would live down in Indian Garden and use it to come, as the weather changed, to come to different areas of the canyon. So that trail that you guys are seeing putting down, that is Bright Angel Trail. And so these paths are really a lot of the original paths that a lot of the native tribes used for thousands of years. So Dennis wanted to know, how many trails are there? So there's about over 600 miles of backcountry trails here at Grand Canyon National Park. What we do is we call it the corridor trails. So that is Bright Angel Trail and South Kaibab Trail and North Kaibab Trail. And so those are the ones that will get you kind of directly into the canyon. You're going to have, let's see if I can come over here and show you guys the battleship. So, okay, so you should be able to see this trail jutting out kind of on. So that's out to Plateau Point. And so Plateau Point, to get to, from there, you can also catch the Tanto Trail from Indian Garden. So for, I think it was Karen, you had asked about Indian Garden. If you can see where all those little trees are, there we go, that little section right there, so that's Indian Garden, and then that little trail right there is out to Plateau Point. So to get to Plateau Point from the rim is about 6 miles. So if you're doing it round trip, that's 12 miles in a day. So it's definitely a hike for the day. One of these days I'll get down there, because I get service surprisingly out on Plateau Point. So maybe I'll try to hike there and give you guys a live view of that. I'll take you guys down with me. I feel like there's one other question I might have missed. Let me keep scrolling and you guys can watch this rain kind of shift over on the north rim. So and again, it's getting super windy today. So Nelson said sunset at Plateau Point is awesome. It is just stunning over there. I'm glad my fingers help. They're very cold, so I keep shoving them in my pockets. Yeah, let's kind of come back over here because that's what I was originally sharing with you guys there too. So it's a hike, you know. I think you climb so quickly when you're coming back out Bright Angel, so it's so easy to go down. But please plan for, if you are hiking, to twice as long to get back up. And at the beginning of this interview, we started talking to Anne, and she's a preventive search and rescue volunteer, and she had some of those great tips. So if you missed the beginning of this, I'll post this so you can go back and watch and hear from Anne on what those tips are for hiking smart. Okay, so I'm going to go just a little bit further. You guys have such great questions today. Thank you for joining us for our National Park Week Trailblazer kickoff. And thank you, Bogdan, for your kind words. I'm glad you can join me on this walk today. So Karen shared she performed a wedding on Plateau Point. Longest bridal procession ever. Oh, Karen, that is great. Thank you for sharing that. So what will be fun too is, even though I'll be walking the same path and direction tomorrow, it's probably going to look different because I think tomorrow's going to be a little bit cloudier, different time of day. So you just never know how the canyon's going to look, how the shadows are going to cast. So Dennis asked, how far can a wheelchair descend? So on the canyon trail, it's pretty rutted and rocky in some areas. On the rim trail, though, as you can see, this is really nice and paved. So you can take this rim trail pretty much all the way out to Hopi Point. It gets a little bit gravelly in between a few sections, but I definitely think you could do it with a wheelchair. If you're pushing a stroller, all of those you could do as well to keep it all accessible on the rim trail. Trish, any condor sightings? Oh, I am ashamed to say I have actually never personally seen a California condor from the South Rim. It hurts my feelings. I will someday. I know I will. And maybe with the power of this wonderful Facebook community, we'll keep our eyes peeled, and maybe we'll see one tomorrow on our walk too. A lot of my counterparts have. I just unfortunately have not been there at the right time. Lots of deer and elk though. I saw deer last night as I was headed home, and lots of elk this morning. So one little cloud over there is just dumping rain. Linda just made a comment about just to stop and look around so you don't miss anything in your near vicinity. So it's always good to just pause and take it in. You did see bighorn sheep. So Trish, yes, so last year in December when we did our inner canyon hike on Bright Angel Trail, I saw 3 bighorn sheep during our inner canyon backpack, and it's always a joy to see the bighorns. So, and I know Terry Attridge. Terry, it's good to see your name come up. She said it is still a little cold for the condors right now, so that's also probably why we are not seeing them. So Nelson asked, have any tribes lived in the canyon? Yes, and there are still some. So the Havasupai tribe, they still live in the canyon, and there are the 11 associated tribes of the canyon, and they all kind of have different areas and regions of it. So I'll make sure I link to that as well, so that way you guys can learn about it. Alright, so I think I'm going to start to head back the other direction. I'll keep you guys with me for just a little bit longer if you guys want. And before I sign off for the day, or for the morning. So Sabine said, I know how your cans feel in the cold. Got the windproof gloves. I really kind of underestimated. I was a little distracted trying to get ready for my trip to come up this weekend, and I think it was just wishful thinking that it was going to be warmer. So right now, it is about 11:05 Arizona time. So my time right now. So 11:05, we definitely dropped in temperature. When I started the live, it said it was about 52 degrees, and so right now it says it's 48. But the sun feels really beautiful and warm. So Terry just shared she saw 3 condors up at the Navajo Bridge on Monday. There's a breeding pair up there. So if you guys are planning a trip and want to get out there, that's some great feedback that she shared in the comments about a spot possibly to maybe catch a condor sighting. Thank you, Terry, for sharing that. So yes, we have a 3-hour difference right now to the East Coast. Arizona is one of those strange states that I love, and we do not change time zones. So I'm always really oblivious to what everyone else's time is. Looks like we're starting to build some clouds over here over the south rim as well. So we might get a little bit of rain. So thank you, Bogdan, for joining us today. I'm so glad you were able to watch us for this lovely Saturday morning stroll. So for those of you guys that are just joining, my name is Alyssa. I'm on the other side of the camera. I'll give you guys a quick little wave. And I'm the Marketing and Public Relations Manager for Grand Canyon Conservancy, and I am walking the rim trail right now. I'm now headed east, going back towards Bright Angel Trailhead, and we are kicking off our National Park Week and Trailblazer event. It is super windy today. It's about 50 degrees, so it's a little chilly, but I'm excited that I could share this lovely walk with you all today. So thank you guys so much for joining me. So rim set, I can see the rim on Google Earth, so I'm trying to find the views on the rim trail. So yeah, so I'm just about, this is Trail View Overlook. So this is the shuttle bus spot. So you can see that little roundabout there. So this is where I paused and I showed you guys the 1 mile and 3 mile rest house. So here, I'll have to pause on this so you guys can see exactly where I'm at Trail View Overlook. So again, for those of you guys that were joining in, that trail that you can see cutting down over there, that is Bright Angel Trail. So Christina, you are so welcome. Thank you for watching with us today from Missouri. 2 years since your last visit. Aw, Kate, I'm glad. It's like being here. So right now, Hermit Road is closed to through traffic. So if you are planning to come out here, you can do what I'm doing and walk the rim trail, or you can catch a shuttle bus. So they are running, you just have to make sure you mask up, and then they are just maintaining capacity on the bus. All right. Well, I know tomorrow we have a very busy day. You're going to see and hear a lot of me. So I'm going to give you guys another view of the canyon, and then I'm going to sign off. So thank you guys all again. I really, really appreciate you joining me on this Saturday. Again, if you want to get involved in our Trailblazer event, you can sponsor and support my trailblazing, or you can donate and start your own team. That's protect.grandcanyon.org/trailblazer. And all week long, I'll be sharing you information, facts, and educational tidbits about Grand Canyon's trails. So that way you guys can stay connected to us from wherever you are, and we can keep the canyon as a place for you guys to enjoy virtually. So again, we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.